One, go! Last session, welcome back everyone. Last session, previously, rather, you met up with Lady Neelith, Lady of the Capital, in her home after she intercepted a message from Councilman Ivan sent to you encoding a secret message to meet her at a specific location. She told you that Lord Lazarus Barrenhill, Lord of Blackwind and a suspected vampire, is now part of the King's Council, taking over the Archmage Rast's position on the Council, even though he's not Archmage. Since he's arrived on the Council, Lady Neelith has been blackmailed into silence over a secret that could get her killed. Councilman Ivan and Councilman Amyr's families have been taken and are being held as hostage, and 3 of the Council haven't been themselves since his arrival, as if they're under some sort of charm or spell. The remaining 3 councillors, as well as Lord Barrenhill, are the ones actually running the show in the capital and all around Ambyr at the minute. She told you that they met in the secret of the night in unknown locations, and that their meetings during the daytime are just a formality, keeping up appearances. Lady Neelith recommended you investigate Lord Barrenhill and his home in the Falcon District and see what you can find. She also told you that a dark secret of how she came to power by killing her parents, her brother, and many civilians in a tavern fire after her father chose her brother to take his place as mayor of the capital instead of her.
Never met such a beautiful woman.
Soon after this, you heard noises coming from the hedge maze, and figures emerged. Statues that you saw through the hedge maze became animated and came to attack you, brought to life by Galahad's old friend and party member, Seer, a warlock. An intense battle ensued, with statues exploding on death, Seer slinging spells left and right, but they came of ultimately little use. In the end, with Doc's blessings, Griffin's smiting, Balzanor's arcane expertise, and Galahad's combat superiority, the battle was over, and for now at least, Seer had been destroyed. Though Doc was able to surmise that, due to the fact that she is a revenant, this may not be the last you ever see of her, though she's killed now. Who knows in the future?
Dun, dun, dun.
At the end of the fight, a guard came from around the front. One of the guards that you guys met earlier on runs around, sort of from the front, and says, "What the fuck happened there? You were followed. You fucking idiots! Look, there's fucking guards coming. There's all sorts of people coming. You have a couple of minutes, maybe. Get the fuck out of here now! No one can know you were here or had any part in this, otherwise she is dead. Hear me? Fucking dead. Get out of it. I'll try and stall or something. Just go." And the man quickly runs back off. And when you think about it, it is rather strange, because obviously the only people that knew about this meeting was you guys and her. And as far as you're aware, you weren't necessarily followed, as far as you're aware, of course. So it is a bit strange how they knew the location of the meeting, and how people have been knowing several of your locations since you've been in the capital. But with that all said and done, what would you all like to do?
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
I'd
Where do
like
we
to
go?
gather everyone
Where's
together
safe?
and cast Mass Cure Wounds.
Gather everyone together, cast a bit of mass cure wounds. Lovely jubbly. Yes,
Well,
how is
Jen.
everyone after that fight? People hurt? One of you is still a massive ape.
Everyone gains... well, I mean, I'm going to wait until Griffin's... I thought you said earlier in the last session that you dropped out of being an ape.
No. My prime form. Yeah, I've dropped out of becoming an ape.
Okay, yeah, you drop out of becoming an ape. Do.
Everyone gains
And-
20, there's 5 on top of that as well.
Everyone
25
regains
HP.
25 HP. Lovely.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah, with your wounds healed, you feel a warm sensation go over you, and the slight scorchings and burn marks of these statues exploding vanish. You don't, by the way, hear the shuffling of the pink statue that you left alive. By the way, he had 2 hit points left, and it was the only statue left. But you don't hear the shufflings of that anymore. You can assume that after Seer died, it returned to its original form, a statue. Yeah, so you guys are getting the fuck out of here. How are you doing this, and where are you going?
What's on the far side of the maze?
What do you mean on the far side of the maze?
Well, I mean, if we went back into the maze and rather than like exiting through the entrance, if we exited on the far side through a hedge.
Oh, that's just a hedge. That's just there. On
There's
the
only
very
one
far
way in
side, on the very far side that way is an alleyway that just leads behind the house. So you could run that way
That sounds like
if
a
you
good
wish.
way to go.
There's also this back gate here that leads behind the house as well.
I think we go down the alley.
Through the hedge.
Yeah.
Through the hedge or behind the alley. They both really end up in the same place. It doesn't really make too
We'll
much
go
difference.
to the same place.
Yes. There's all four of you, and all four of you are pretty strong. But just because it was Doc's idea, Doc, roll me a strength check to push through the
Why
hedge.
do I have to lead? I don't want to lead.
Because
You're
it's
so good at
it's
this
just
before.
funny.
It's fine.
Boom! Straight through. Punch with the shield, a twist to bring all the branches out the way, and then with your hammer, just whack straight through the dwarven-sized hole that everyone else is able to sort of creep out of. Where is it?
Crawl out of.
Crawl out of, yes, for some of you. So, where is it that you are actually trying to go? Where in the capital are you trying
Away.
to leave to? I'll bring you back to the capital map. Do you have a specific location in mind, or just
Temple of Pelor, or
Somewhere.
are we trying to avoid that because we don't want to bring heat on it?
No.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
if
better
the
protected.
Black Talons fight again, we're slightly better equipped to deal with it this time. We're not knackered.
Certainly. Superior's temple.
To Pelor's temple.
Pelor's temple? More of a cathedral than a temple. It's more of like Pelor's temples and places are more in line of like a Christian, somewhat like cathedral, like a big sort of Catholic cathedral kind of place. You know, very churchy and tall spires and things like that, columns and statues along the inside, pews and all that sort of stuff. So, you guys are heading back to Pelor's Cathedral. To do this, I mean, you can all just like walk it if you want, though I'm assuming, given past experiences of walking through the capital, you would all be taking some measures, potentially, to try and protect yourselves somewhat. So I'm going to open this up to a skill challenge. You can use any skill or any spell or ability or anything like that you guys would like to try and get away. One of these, however, I will say it's a best of 5. So there's, well, no, it's not a best of 5, but you need a certain amount of successes, and there'll be 5 checks, one from each of you, plus a stealth check from all of you. So you're pushing through the street. So if everyone could just roll a
Why
stealth
do
check
you
now.
hate us?
Because you're trying to move at night time
No.
through the city streets. So, the 3 of you in plate armor, you know who you are. Try and roll a stealth check with disadvantage, sadly.
Would one be able to guidance oneself on this check?
One,
Fuck
no.
off if
This
you're on
is
a
this is
15 in your
more.
plate armor.
This is more you moving through the city. This, like, moving through to the cathedral will take about an hour and a half to travel there. So you
do
wouldn't
they
really be
get-
able to guidance yourself that entire way.
Do they
So
get
guidance only
my
lasts an action.
aura?
That's on saving throws.
That's on saving
saving
throws,
throws.
not
Okay. Just
ability
not
checks.
just checks.
Yes.
That's an 8 from me.
Well, I'm sure you will all be surprised to know, will be unsurprised to know that that is 1 fail out of 5 checks. So, one fail out of 5.
I got 15.
Yeah, but it's a
Because so it's count. So this is a group check.
Ah,
So that's 1 fail.
honestly,
It's something
And
we
now-
have to do together.
And now
let down
each
by
of
the
you,
group.
and now each of you can make a single check. It can be any check you think will help you guys through the city. I'm going to say the only check. So everyone can make obviously whatever check they want, but the only check you can make at the same time would be perception. It's like the only like same
So
check
all
you
our
can make as
checks have to be different.
All your checks have to be different unless you're making perception. Anyone can make perception.
I'm going to claim athletics to try and dodge through crowds and streets and Trying to get through quickly.
yes.
Yeah,
So
try and
strategy.
try and keep the party up. Make sure everyone's moving at a decent pace, keeping a decent pace. Yeah, I'll allow it. 19.
Oh,
Bam! One fail, one success.
I will use survival to avoid streets that I would hide in if I were to mug people.
Yeah, you know what, I'll allow it. Survival's a wisdom-based thing. I'll allow it. 2 successes, 1 failure. Doc and Galahad, any skills, abilities, spells,
Yes.
anything like that you might want to use?
I'd like to use a history check. So see if, use my knowledge of the ancient city to...
I swear it was this road.
So the ancient city would be the Wind
other
and
side,
Root
wasn't
district,
it?
the other side.
You burn.
So I'll say that wouldn't necessarily work.
How to get your DM on side 101. A bellend.
Like Doc could use that check because he's been to this district a couple of times and obviously travelled that way. So if you wanted to use history, Doc, you could.
History. I shall not be using that one.
If-
Thank you.
Fair enough.
I would like to utilize a combination of perception and insight, potentially. And I'd like to use broom to go above the rooftops and try and spot people. And then work out, see if there's anyone sort of following on rooftops or anything like that, and then try and navigate us on an unusual pathway that might throw them off the scent, knowing where they are, or being able to spot them, being able to get the party to avoid them.
How intelligent is Broom?
I
Okay.
would go up on broom, have a look around, come back down, and then be able to relay information based on what I
Okay,
saw.
so for that, I will either say you can either use insight or perception. Whichever one you use will change. So, for example, if you use insight, that means you're going up and having a very basic look at the surroundings. But if you're using perception, that means you're going up and having a very good look at the surroundings. And maybe... Oh, actually, you know what? I'm just going to say go for perception. Go for perception. I feel like that
I was
works.
trying to talk into insight, but I couldn't even talk myself into thinking insight worked. It's just I got
That's
plus
fair.
11 in that, so I want to use that. Let's go perception. Normal roll 17.
Oh, very, very nice. That is 3 successes and 1 fail. Galahad, what you doing? What you using?
We've already had athletics, haven't we?
Yeah,
You
me.
have, yes.
I very smartly took that from the off.
And Doc, did you use insight
I
or
use perception.
use perception? Oh, can I use insight then?
I'll say you could use insight in what Doc was trying to do in combination with Doc as to okay, well, he's seen there might be people above, therefore maybe I can try and use insight to see, okay, what ways could we potentially use to maneuver the streets more tactically and things like that.
It's either that or persuasion. Maybe I
Persuade
could
the road to be straight and true.
All right, yeah, you guys have smashed this somewhat, yeah. So that is 4 successes and 1 failure. Surprisingly, stealth was the failure. Who'd have thunk it? So
We do all these things very well, but it's very obvious that we're doing it.
yeah. So you exit the manor out the sort of back alley, maneuver along some of the back alleys until you reach one of the main roads. From here, the cobblestones are lit up by the beautiful moon above you, and you manage to sort of cross this way. And it's around this time that Doc, you would get up, and with your 17 perception, you do actually notice dark figures moving over the streets and the corners. Thanks to Balzanor making sure everyone keeps a decent pace, and Galahad, in combination with Griffin, sort of looking around and trying to see, okay, well, that way is probably not a very good way because that, we could get ambushed there. That's a very easily ambushable section. Okay, everyone keep your eyes on corners in this particular route and that particular route. You are able
JJ, there's the black talent behind you, JJ.
You are able to make very, very good headway. Very, very good headway, in fact, along the way.
No.
As you are rushing through the streets, it's now getting to around sort of 1 a.m. It's very, very late, and you're all getting a little tired. But I'll say, after this evening. You spent like the most of the day not really doing anything, so I won't really say you have to roll anything like for exhaustion checks or anything like that. And as you push through, Doc, with you using perception, I'll say you're keeping an eye, and you have the highest passive perception. You would hear a voice from one of these sort of alleyways that you're moving through. You can't quite see whoever it is, not on first glance, but just hear, "Psst, hey, over here, come on, another way, this way, come on."
Sus.
Who's there? Who goes there?
There's no fucking time. They're right on your tail. Come on.
Are we going?
Sure.
Are we close to the Cathedral of Pelor?
You are probably around like just getting into the Cloud District down here now. Cathedral of Pelor is just sort of up here, so you're about sort of halfway, 3/4 of the way.
And who's this guy that's calling us over? Can we see much of him, or is it just a voice in an alley?
You can make a perception check.
I will help.
Pleasure. Da, 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 da. Thank you for your aid.
Yeah, 18 perception. Looking sort of over at the alley, you don't necessarily see anything. You might see this sort of shape of someone in the alley, but they are moving. It's almost as if the person is like readying themselves and almost instinctively moving back in the alley, assuming that you'll follow. So you see a figure of someone, but you can't make out much more detail than that. It is in like darkness. Obviously, this alley it's the dead of night. Obviously, this alley is in the shade of the moonlight, so it is pretty much pitch black. Would you follow them, or would you just continue on your way?
Let's do it. Let's go.
Oh, I think we follow them, yeah. Okay, fine, yeah.
Yeah.
But say as we slip past any funny business, and we'll fucking murk you.
Sorry,
As you rush into the alley, you can see the very sort of end of it, a person, more of a figure, still in this pretty deep darkness, rushing sort of forwards, and it appears to sort of go out into this courtyard just ahead. They rush on out into this courtyard and sort of like zoom right, quick, this way, come on! And they rush and spin around, and as they spin around, a cloak behind them sort of just like billows in the wind as they skid across the ground and rush off ahead. As you begin to follow them out into the courtyard, everyone make a perception check.
Did we get at these?
Oh, any chance I've got advantage for no reason?
If anything, it's dim light / darkness, so you're at a disadvantage, but that's fine.
Oh, wow.
Because you're human.
I rolled as well.
Not me in a world of his own.
Nah, no longer.
Even with Balzanor, Balzanor, you're very curious about this. Where you're from, people moving you into, where you're from what you've seen, people asking you to go into alleys and stuff generally means you're about to get shanked, so you're keeping a watchful eye.
No me gusta.
But even you cannot seem to see anything as you rush in through this way. However, unfortunately, you can feel a few things. Oh god, okay, that was a strange bunch of rolls. What was the marching order, by the way? Who was sort of in front? Who was... Yeah,
Galahad
who
was first, so
would be
let's
in front?
follow them, so I'm guessing him in front.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
sure.
okay, Galahad in front. Who's
I'd be right on his ass because he can't do anything before me.
right on his ass, and then behind him.
Oh. probably be behind him then.
Okay. So, Galahad, we have a 21 to hit you.
Doesn't hit, mate.
We have a 18 to hit you, Griffin.
No.
Balzanor, we have a 29.
And I'm the most perceptive here.
And Doc, we have a 20 to hit you.
You're a dick, yeah.
I am. For sadly, these figures rolled a staggering 35 on their stealth checks.
Oh, wow.
And as you rush around the corners, you turn and suddenly just these crossbow bolts. Galahad, this one just sort of like bounces off of your armor. Griffin, in response to this, you raise up your shield and one just sort of like clatters into your shield and splinters into 1,000 pieces. Balzanor, you almost like, you can hear this and try and rush around for help, but this crossbow bolt just thunk straight into your shoulder. Can you make me a con save for me, please, Balzanor? And Doc, you were hit as well, weren't you? Yeah. So can you also make me a con save as you just rush in, take the hit?
Is this poison by any chance?
This is poison, so you have advantage.
Great, I'm so glad.
But sadly, 13 isn't quite enough.
I'm
But both
stab many people, starting with Ben.
So, Balzanor, you take 10 points of piercing damage.
For God's sake, this is not going to
Plus
16.
10 points of poison damage.
4.
Like, tasty health you get is disappearing fast.
Oh, I've no spells for this
And
either.
10 points of
30!
extra piercing damage because of sneak attack.
Can we see them?
You now would be able to, yes, as they've revealed themselves.
Not,
And
I'll
put you
immediately fire a firebolt in return.
immediately fire a firebolt in return. All right, we'll
retaliate if they're depending on what range they are at.
Indeed, we will get to that in just a moment. Doc, you take 7 points of piercing damage. 4 points of poison damage because it's halved because you're a dwarf. Yeah, it's already halved because you're a dwarf. And
11.
Oh god, an extra 12 points of piercing damage from sneak attack.
23.
23. As I will move you. Now again, because I'm moving you into a map doesn't mean you have to fight, have to do anything like that.
Where is the
you
figure
don't.
that led us here? I want a skull through the smash.
At this point, you cannot necessarily see him. You ran off right somewhere.
Quick question. Has it been a minute since we were in our last fight?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's been like over half an hour.
Boy, hope
just
there.
like rushing through the streets.
Can we get a chance to retaliate?
Yeah, I'll say yeah. All of them loosed arrows on you, so I think yeah, you would get a chance to retaliate, and we'll roll some initiative. The two you can immediately see in front of you are these two guys that you can see here. Everyone else, because once again, you can't hear the snap of the crossbows as they're fired. You can't quite see them immediately, anyway. But I'll say because you were fired at crossbows, one was like somewhere up here, and one was somewhere down here. So one was essentially above and below you on the map.
Ben.
Yes.
Do you say we get a chance to retaliate sort of before the initiative kicks in?
I'll say yeah, because they've got crossbows and they need to obviously reload their crossbows. I'll say yeah, you guys would get a chance to retaliate, and then we can.
Can I use my harness divine power in that? Because instead of like an attack or something. It's a bonus action.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. You can use this thing as much as you want. Yeah. So yeah, you get spell back. It can be half your proficiency bonus. That's 5 rounded down. So that's 2. You can get rounded up. So you can get either a 3rd, 2nd, or 1st level spell slot back.
Can I use sorcery points at the same time, or is that?
Yeah, it's a bonus action. You can, like I said, you can use sort of this thing to do whatever you like. If anything, I'd say you could have done that while you're running, was obviously dashing and things like that.
Because we were still in fight, and I was very low on spells. I'm assuming we'd fight.
I mean, it's been, like I said, it's been like half an hour of you guys rushing through the streets. Yeah. You'd obviously know you're low on spells. Yeah, and obviously you can't dash as a bonus action or anything like that, so it makes sense that, you would take some of that time while you're just sort of catching your breath and things like that to get some of those spell slots back from your sorcerer's power. Griffin, who is that against?
That'll be orange.
Orange, yes, that definitely hits as you summon this fireball, twirl it round, and it almost like just twirls around the cover and smashes him straight in the face, and he doesn't realize, that is a very good fireball. Fair fucking play. Nicely done. He will use his reaction, however, to uncanny dodge.
Fair enough. After I've released that, we'll turn around and say, are we fleeing? Are we fleeing?
I don't want to be caught in a fight here.
I think we're very much in the hornet's nest here. We're just having this casual conversation while crossbow bolts are flying.
Yeah, this is got to be a real. I'm actually going to say, so everyone roll me initiative, and you can have this conversation while.
I did roll initiative above, so I'm taking that 20.
You did, yes. So, take that. You can take that 20. Doc has got another 20.
Wow.
They are very high rolls, my lord. Oh, God. Yeah, you guys are going first.
You taking action?
No, I play anything.
I mean, you can do something. You can do something if you want, as you've been, in reaction of everything going on.
Yeah, can I take a reaction as well? Because we said I was using sorcery points.
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Cool. I'm gonna firebolt red.
Firebolt red. 20 does hit. Yes.
Do you call that damage? Firebolt?
12 damage. Uncanny dodge.
Sorry, I call it a weak firebolt.
2, 6, and with that, yes, we shall roll initiative. So first up on the initiative order would be either Doc or Balzanor. Either one, probably Doc, because he's got more dex. Doc, Balzanor, Galahad, Griffin. Cool. So as you guys are, suddenly appearing here, Doc, you take your turn first. What would you like to do? It's at this point you guys can start discussing on your turns whether you're running, fleeing, staying, fighting, whatever. What would you like to do? Dokrumir.
I'm gonna do what I do. Have home and cast. Once again, that'll be 27 to everyone.
Oh, 27 to everybody.
Thank you very much.
And that's.
You said 27?
Yes.
You'll be glad that has taken to my max total exactly, so not a drop of healing wasted.
You're
Lovely.
on your max HP, you bastard.
Yeah, same.
Wait, hang on, you're all in your max HP?
No, I'm saying same, he's a bastard.
Oh, cheers.
No,
bear in mind, he did turn into a giant ape and just tank like 50
that is
points
true. You
of
took all
damage.
your damage on that. Yeah, so fair enough. Okay. You're no longer a bastard.
My shield is my polymorph.
Your polymorph is your shield?
My shield is my polymorph. Fucking do something, JJ!
I need that on a shirt. Yes, Doc, you've done your action. You place your hand on your holy symbol and imbue everyone with some healing. Anything else you would like to do?
Can I, as a bonus action, make a perception check to try and spot some more of these guys and maybe call them out?
Yeah, of course.
21.
Oh, 21, absolutely. So you can see from where you are, and I'll put them back on the map. So green, way down there. And Blue has sort of tucked himself prone just down here, but sadly the moon gives them away these crossbows, which, are very, very good crossbows. They've got some slight padding to stop the snap of the crossbow being so loud that anyone can hear it. But sadly, the sort of metal rim just gives the edge of their crossbows away, as well as these small sort of metal like silvery thread on the sort of tips of their hoods. Their sort of like peaked hoods gives them away in the moonlight, and you can just about see where they are.
I will call out their position to everyone, so we know that we've got 4.
Cool. Balzanor, what do I have to do?
I'd like to suggest to the group we are running away. I just want to make that as a point.
Before I cast Immolate.
I would if I could. Actually, one sec. Sorry, I should have planned this ahead.
Yeah, it's cool.
I can just ask
actually, sorry, it should have been one of their... Oh, fuck it. We'll go with your turn for now, but it should have been one of their goes after Doc, but that's fine. We'll go with you for now.
Interesting. A tie. A 3-way tie.
No, I'm going with the new initiative thing.
Okay, I'm going to cast Aganzar's Scorcher, I think, on Red again, because I've sort of a bit fixated on him.
Yeah, go for it. Do they have to make a save, or is it an attack roll from you? Line of Roaring Flame. Each creature in the line must make a dex saving throw, 3d8 fire damage. So dex save. Oh god, I'm so sorry. They got a natural 20 on the saving throw.
Well, I mean, it's probably going to be rubbish damage anyway. Let's be real. Yeah, there you go.
7.
Taking a look at the range of that.
It's within 30 feet, and that's a lot longer than 30 feet away.
That's a lot longer than 30. I'm not going to do that. In which case, I'm just going to cast the Firebolt again.
Okay, go for it. 21 does hit, and I'll say that it's not technically been their turn yet, so they can't uncanny dodge that. 14 fire damage. Very nicely done. As this firebolt again sort of like whizzes around and curls through the air with the wind, slightly just slapping this one in the stomach. He reveals his position a little more from behind this pillar, but maneuvers himself back into cover. Pardon me. Next up, I'm going to take 2 goes here because of the one that missed his go. So this guy is going to fire off a shot at 2 people in front, I think. So first, Red is going to go against Galahad. That's a 23 to hit.
That just hits.
Just hits. And the blue on the right, I'll deal with him in a second. I'll do one at a time. So where's my d6 gone? Can you make me a con save, Galahad?
Yeah, sure.
You're good at these. Oh,
oh my Jesus Christ. You are fine. You know what? You almost relish in the poison as it sort of seeps into you.
More.
You take 5 points of piercing damage. He doesn't get sneak attack, and you don't take any poison damage. So that's just 5 piercing damage. He's pissed off, and he's gonna move
that
5, 10.
Additional effects did it then when we failed the save?
Not that you know.
No.
Okay.
Not these. Not for these guys anyway.
Okay.
Blue is going to sort of emerge, standing sort of up here, leap down, and you guys recognize this guy now that you can see him in a bit more light. You recognize him, Doc, especially as the one that got away from the previous night. He's got the scratches and scars over his robes from the thing, and this time, instead of wielding these short swords, he pulls out from his sort of side this chain, this thin chain with spikes sort of like jutted through the chain links, and at the very end of the chain, a sort of blade that sticks around the end. It's like, you killed my brothers the night before. Now you die. This contract will be complete tonight. And so he's jumped down there for 5, 10. He doesn't really want to get in the thing of all of you, so he's actually going to go 15, 20, 25, 30 over here.
We're big enough to have a contract.
Throw a dagger at... No, he's going to use his hand crossbow. Hand crossbow at... I'm going to say Griffin.
Go if you think you're hard enough.
But that incredibly misses with a 13. As a Griffin, you're just easily able to just pull your shield up again, and this bolt just splinters again over the front face of your shield. And he's a bit pissed off, so he's going to go. He's going to dash. So wait, he went from there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's going to dash again. 5, 10, 20, 25, just behind here. Cool. Then that is both of them done, and next we move on to Galahad. Galahad, you've heard you've been healed. You've heard the call from Balzanor saying we should probably run. What would you like to do?
Can I cast? So with my thing that I did as a reaction, I restored the
yes.
Lord spell.
Yeah.
Can I cast Spirit Guardians?
Of course.
Bosh, just whack that. And
yeah, of course, 15 feet.
Do I know which direction? That's not affecting everyone, by the way.
Of course, yep.
Just
Stop it, Galahad!
Do I know where? I can't think of the words. The Temple of Pelor is from where we are. Do I know if I head straight across?
Make a just straight intelligence check.
Okay.
I will let you add your proficiency because it's a Temple of Pelor where you literally stayed, and it's probably a place that's, somewhat special to you in the city after so long. So I'll allow you to add your proficiency to that. So that's 17. So yeah, you guys would know that it is that way. It is essentially if you went up on the battle map just here, if you went north.
So then I'll just tell everyone. I can't move my character, by the way. No?
You can't move your character.
No.
That's...
Oh, I can move mine either.
Oh, yeah, so...
Oh, why has it done that? It briefly did a thing where it meant that, if I just added your characters onto the thing, it automatically linked it to you guys, whereas for some reason it's taken it off. Yeah, you. So I'm assuming you're going to start running in that direction.
Follow me, men. Let's go. And yeah, I'll just head there. I won't run the full way, so that I'm not too far away from them. But yeah, so I'll go there, and that is all for now.
Cool. Yeah. Next up would be Green, who is going to use his crossbow to take a shot at Balzanor. Balzanor will give you a little bit of cover for this shot. Oh god, that's a 27.
Oh Christ!
Why
is that hit me so hard?
Can you make me a con save again, please, Balzanor? Oh god. So that's 8 piercing damage.
I would be down if JJ hadn't healed me so far today. How much damage is that, sorry?
8 piercing damage. And 10 poison damage. As this crossbow bolt just sort of rhymes past, and you try and sort of back up just behind this wall, but sadly it sinks into your shoulder. You feel the poison sort of just oozing over you just a little bit. Cool. Next up is Griffin. I'll say after the first round, if you guys all just decide we want to book it, then we can just turn this into a chase instead of actual initiative. But Griffin, what would you like to do?
5, 10. I'll go. It's up north. That's towards the temple.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna move 10 feet there. And when I get to here, I'm gonna fling a fireball in between the. Well, so that it lands on the blue guy basically, because he's just behind a little hedge, isn't he?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I should get both of them. So.
Yeah, you just summon this sort of like orange bead in your hands and sling it across. Cool. Roll for fireball. Oh my lord, that is a very, very good fireball.
Shit.
One of them passes.
I'm ever so
One of them
slightly hard.
fails. You're going to really hate me when I tell you that they have evasions. So the one that fails takes half damage, and the one that passes takes nothing.
Well, damage is damage, isn't it?
But
So
damage is indeed damage. So that's...
Who failed?
God. Blue failed, orange passed. So blue takes 18 damage? Which is pretty good, and orange takes nothing. As this fireball sort of twirls around, and orange just about manages to twirl around the pillar, but blue is just overcome by this massive ball of flame.
I can get here with my movement. Do I get a bit of cover?
Yeah. I'll give you a little bit of cover with that.
Okay. Orange and blue, obviously.
Cool. Finally, it is Orange's go, and he is going to do a real quick thing. I can't think of what he's going to do. Don't really think he's going to do anything. I think he's just going to sort of fire a shot at one of you. I don't know. Oh, he has been shot by you guys. No, actually, I think you can see that you guys are running sort of that way, so I think he's probably going to start giving chase. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, bonus action, dash to leap up here for 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and he's just going to place himself just up here and ready his action. As you guys are planning to rush around him. Is everyone just running at this point? Or
Yeah, I think so.
are you guys...
okay. Not now he's got in my axe swing.
Not now he's got in your axe swing.
Oh, yeah,
right, well, we'll quickly push this through the initiative order. So, Doc, what would you be doing? Will you just be charging off with everyone else, or is there anything else?
I'm gonna... I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35 feet into whatever this prick has got planned.
Yep, so he's going to attack as he's sort of like readied himself with one of these short swords. He's going to pull that out. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's a 16 to hit you, Doc.
Misses.
And he's ready. With readied actions, can they take their full
You get one
thing?
attack with a ready action.
Yeah, so that's it. As you sort of like come by, he's slightly sort of like up high, as a obviously like just being on these stairs, and as he tries to swing down at you, because you're a dwarf, obviously you're fairly tall for a dwarf, but you're easily able to just sort of like dodge by as he's clearly misjudged in the sort of like slight darkness, how hard you are to hit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's him. What else?
I'm going to make an attack with my hammer.
Make an attack with your hammer.
Me now, hammer. Oh, that's close.
Oh, just hits.
Excellent. One-handed as always.
11 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, that's.
Oh, and that's a
That's
perfect
nice to see.
8. Nice.
So 19 damage.
Nice, yeah, as you swing with your hammer and you manage to whack him in the side of the knee, and you can hear the pop of his knee as it sort of cracks out as he falls to the ground, and with this pop as well, just this hum of the divine energy that slaps straight into him, and he falls slightly on the stairs, but manages to pull himself up and sort of shakes his leg off and slightly limping on it now. He's looked better. He's not down, but he's looked better.
Going to bonus actions. Spiritual weapon as well, because I can.
Cool.
Right behind him. That's to hit, by the way. That's not damage.
That's, well, you'll be surprised to know that definitely fucking
That's
hits,
the wrong
JJ.
one. Sorry, I pulled out the wrong thing.
He pulled out Giant Doc. A Mega Doc, if you will.
Yes, I still haven't worked out how to get this rolling damage properly, so I think that's 3... It's either 2d8 or 3d8. I can't remember what the base is.
Base is 2d8.
Base is 1d8 plus spell, so that should be 2d8.
Really?
Yep. So 2d8 plus 6, so that's 20 from the spiritual weapon.
20 from the spiritual weapon. Fucking
yeah, because it doesn't scale up once per level, which we've discovered.
Yes, of course. Yeah. So as you then sort of, as you've cracked him across the knee, you just raise your hand, summon the spiritual weapon, which as he's sort of down on the stairs, just comes out, bashes him straight back into the stairs. He rolls himself up really quickly, not enough to sort of see him prone for the rest of the round, but he's definitely a lot more wary about the position he's in now. Sort of, you can hear him just sort of like curse himself under his breath in a tongue that none of you really understand, unless anyone speaks Undercommon.
Undercommon.
Undercommon, yes.
Wow.
But yeah, with that, he is all right. These two guys are not happy everyone's leaving, so this guy's going to go 5, 10, 30, bonus action, dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 30, fucking hell, he's not in range of anyone. Balzanor's the only one left. He's going to fire a hand crossbow shot at Balzanor.
Of course, he's going to get about 27, is my guess.
No, he's going to get a natural 1. So as he sort of like dashes towards and he's seeing his friend, it kind of looks like almost like the Black Talons have seemed like very heartless people, but seeing his mate get absolutely demolished has clearly affected this red one somewhat. So as he's pushed forward, he cannot but keep an eye on that guy, and as he turns, thinking that a big brutish minotaur in an alleyway, there's no way he can miss, but he accidentally fires the crossbow off a little bit too early, and it just sort of like hits the wall to the side, skims across the wall and skitters around before dropping to the ground. And that's all he can do. Balzanor, you're now up.
This guy's really starting to piss me off. So I'm going to waste a spell slot on him. I'm going to go over here and... I was going to Thunderstep, but if we're trying to run away, that would alert everybody to... hello, we're here again.
A fireball's already been flung. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to use the ability to jump away at the same time.
I see. Yeah, at which point, yeah, if you didn't want... a fireball's already been flung, so... I think going quietly is somewhat out the window at this point.
That doesn't...
Thunderstep.
That just puts it in the chat.
He needs to make a con save. 12. Fails.
Yeah. 3d10.
3d10.
That's a bit
Oh, my lord.
My Christ alive.
Look at those numbers.
You're going to be really, really happy when I say this. As you thunderstep away,
he better be dead. He better be dead.
You emerge wherever you happen to emerge, and all you can see is just a guy stood there, blood trickling from his ears, eyes, nose, everything. Just drops back, hits the ground, gone.
Damn, bro, there was no chill there.
And then you are now behind orange. Congratulations. But yeah, holy fucking shit. That is insane. Some very good damage numbers coming out this evening. Nice. Next up is Blue, who's got his chain. He's like, no, you'll never get away. Not on my fucking watch. 10, 15, 20. What? No. 5, 10, 15, 20, 21. 30. He can see spiritual. He can see that, which is concerning, because I'm not sure he would enter it. So I think actually I'm going to slightly retcon his movement, where he's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 30 bonus action dash. 40, 45, 50. Get up close to his friend. Go for a swing on Balzanor, I guess.
Roll with me.
That's a 15 to hit you, Balzanor.
It misses.
Misses as he pulls out this chain and swings it. And as he swings it sort of like up, you can see it just glint off the moonlight. Brings it down so hard it cracks one of the stone steps. But you're easily able to just like pull yourself out of the way as he's almost making a show of using this chain blade. Galahad. You running, you staying, you whatting, you dotting. What's going on?
Yeah, what is this ledge, Ben? Is it just like a little?
Oh, yeah, it's just like a little platform, like a little ledge. You think maybe in this courtyard people would make some notices from it and announcements from it, or maybe some things would be displayed from it. Yeah, oh yeah, it's like 3 feet off the ground. You can just sort of jump up. It's difficult terrain to jump up onto it, but it's nothing you can't handle. Thank God for the advantage. Thank God for the advantage. 29 definitely fucking hits. Roll up the damage.
Well, assuming he's going for orange.
Yeah.
Assuming you. 10 damage. Anything on top of that?
Nope.
Nope. Good, because he died.
Oh.
As you run up to him, charging up and almost like leaping up off the ledge, bringing down your sword as this guy's sort of like facing off with Balzanor, and your blade just sinks down straight back into his back, and he just crumples down the stairs, falling at Balzanor's feet. The next one I'll say can go at blue if you would like. So yes, that hits blue.
There goes another of your friends. What are you gonna do now?
Who was the one you were shouting at us? Was it blue?
Tis blue. He is going to uncanny dodge that shit.
I'd also like to slap up.
Slap a smite.
Slap a smite on there.
Slap a smite on there. Yes.
Like a wet fish.
I really want to be a
13,
paladin
that
of
is.
some sort of sea god who uses a wet fish. Just has to keep buying new fish, and it's just giant, like a gnome as well. So the fish is ginormous.
You just can't get the fish these days. I only get a good 3 hits out of this.
You just can't get
20 damage, half to 10, as you sort of, from finishing off this guy, go to thrust at this other one. Manages to just move out of the way, so it's not a stab, more of it a sort of slice just across his stomach, leaving a smaller wound than you would have liked. Anything else on your turn?
No, because he's inside my circle of death.
Fantastic. I love it. Circle of death.
Sorry, Spirit Guardians.
Spirit Guardians, yes, of course. Not Circle of Death, Spirit Guardians. This guy, 5, 10, just falls off the roof. Nat 20 on his deck save to land off the roof. He lands with perfect ease. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Bonus action dash, 5, 10, 15.
Luke, in the D&D podcast, or the D&D show that Ben and I watched, they did like a race, and one of the guys used Spirit Guardians while he was on the bike, and he was like, it takes the form of spinning shells.
And he's going to go for Griffin and hope for a good hit. No, of course, he gets a 14 as this thing flies by, and again, like almost at this point, you've learned to like just hear the whistle of the arrows in the air. So Griffin, as you're sort of like pressing forward, you turn around and just almost bat this arrow straight into the wall, where again it just explodes.
Ben, because Griffin doesn't have good dexterity, so I reckon he's just like, he moves like a pudding, but because I've got so much armor on, I'm just lucky that it always seems to hit a bit of armor.
Yeah. I like that. Yes. Instead of that, it just sort of like turns around, just plonks into your arm. You're like, oh, did something happen? No, it's probably fine.
Is that a fly?
Cool. Griffin.
I'm gonna go here.
Uh-huh.
Gonna brandish my axe, and I'm gonna say, "Who put out the contract on us?"
He doesn't say anything.
He doesn't say anything.
He doesn't say anything.
Let me hit it once and see if he'll say anything after that.
Griffin, take his dice. He knows.
This man knows.
22.
Fuck yeah, that hits.
One-handed.
One-handed. 11 damage. Anything on top of that 11 damage?
Not for this one, because I'm going to again ask after I've wedged this into his shin. Who sent you?
As you sort of like, wedge, brandish your axe and slap this one down on him, he just turns around. It doesn't matter who sent me, only that you die. And I'm assuming...
boring answer to die with, and I'm going to hit him again. I hope I hit him again. Yep. One-handed, and then I will add a smite on unless he's dead.
He's not dead yet.
Okay, what's unnecessary? Probably a level 3. I'd say that's what's that? 4d8. Is it 2d8 for level 1?
2d8 for level 1, so level 3 is 4d8.
So 3d8 for level 2 and 4d8. Okay, 4d8. I think that's wholly unnecessary.
Absolutely.
22 damage.
22 damage. And as you swing this on back, then you go for the shin, and from the sort of like you just cut his shin with the divine energy sort of striking through your blade. You cut his shin completely in half, clean cut through the bone and all. Complete, and he's just taken out from underneath as it's this oddly it's this powerful but oddly sort of swift hit from such a bulking man, and he just sort of like flies to the side, his the momentum just carrying his face to the floor at a very, very quick speed. And if he wasn't dead from his head absolutely slapping the floor, he will very quickly die from either shock or blood loss, one of the two, as he is.
I'll say to his slowly dying corpse, you can go see your friends now. Tell them we said hi.
Lovely. If you can't tell, Green is shitting himself. We'll go back really. We'll go really quickly back through the initiative order with Doc. Doc, what are you doing?
I am going to. I think he's in range. If not, I can move like 5 feet closer. I am going to use command on the one remaining one, and do you want to interrogate this guy or just get out of there?
I think if the leader didn't say anything, I mean, we could, but I think we know who it is.
I'm going to use command on him and tell him to approach.
Approach?
So that is a DC 19 wisdom save.
8.
So that's what he's doing on his turn.
Yep, on his turn he will approach. I guess I'll give that. He goes up to his full movement to approach you guys. Cool. Balzanor, you doing anything?
No, not really, because I don't really want to attack the guy. So
that's fair.
No.
I mean, you can hold an action in case something happens.
I'll just hold a firebolt. Nothing too fancy, just in case anyone else shows up behind us.
Okay, so if any other targets appear, hold a firebolt just in case. Cool. Yeah. Galahad, you doing anything in particular?
Just chilling.
Just chilling with Dylan, really.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And Griffin.
If this guy's, would we hear Doc say, "Come on, this guy to come over"? Or
yeah, it's the verbal thing of the spell. You would have heard him say like approach. Literally, it's the verbal component of the spell.
Go and be ready to just basically kick him to the floor once he comes.
Yeah, I guess just hold your action to. I guess that's a shove attack. Just to knock him prone.
Just a grapple or something, or with the idea of restraining him or something like that. Just so while we talk to him, he can't throw hands.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, he would go then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. At which point, that's the end of his turn, so the spell fades. Or does it last until your next turn, Doc?
It says target must.
It's supposed to do with the completion of her task.
The spell has no effect if the target is undead. Just throwing that one out there. It doesn't understand any language. Target moves towards you by the short term direct route.
I like to think if Linden were here, there'd just be a lot of dust. Like, just things of dust all across the capital from fucking people being disintegrated.
Incinerate, yeah. Disintegrate, that's it, not incinerate.
The target must succeed on wisdom saving throw or follow the command on its next turn.
Okay, so it followed the command, which was use its movement to get up to you.
Yeah.
At which point, I'm going to say, the command is over. And, well, it did the command. Therefore, boom. It can make attacks now. So, Griffin, your thing would go off sort of as it approaches you. So, this would be a contested acrobatics check. So, he's going to roll acrobatics, you're going to roll athletics.
Of course he is. I bet he's wriggling like a fish. Is he that wriggly, though?
Oh, no. He rolled really low, but fuck, he's got really good acrobatics. He rolled a 24. So, 28 does it. Yeah, as he sort of approaches, you manage to just sort of like, I don't know, I guess just like wrap your sort of like one arm sort of around him or catch him by the sort of like tuft of his coat. He's still able to make attacks while grappled. So I guess he'll go for attacks on you with these two little knives that he brings out. So the first one, definitely hit. Second one, that's a 24 to hit.
Just for the fun, I'll just throw my shield up.
Yeah, the first one he sort of like goes straight for, like as you've grappled him. The first one he goes straight for your legs, which usually work. You can see the sparks sort of fly as it's just metal on metal against the leg, and then the next one goes straight for your chest, and he's angled it really, really well, just to where it would sort of go up between the sort of two plates of your armor. But there is just this boom, as his arm is sort of like knocked and thrown back from from his momentum as it just knocks against your shield. And he stood there looking very, very sad. At which point, you won't be surprised, he will use his bonus action to dash. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Grapple.
Over there. Oh, he's grappled. He can't do shit. Never mind. That's it. Doc.
Okay, I got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 up behind him. And I'm going to say, who put out the contract on us? And then I'm going to use command again. And the word I'm going to use is confess.
Confess.
So another wisdom save.
Oh, this is like zone of truth, but command. God, that's 5. So no.
Confess. I really like lesbian pornography.
Yeah, I guess this doesn't necessarily have to be about this thing. So he's just immediately gonna say, yeah, some jargon. I don't know, like I never wanted to be a killer. My passion was for music. They took me in.
Oh, fucking hell.
Why is he Russian?
I don't know. He just is, right?
Would you
Aren't all
not
evil people
directly answer the question I asked, though, before I cast the spell on him?
Ben says no.
The thing with the spell is obviously because, so obviously Zone of Truth is a spell and it's a 2nd level spell.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that it can't necessarily do the same thing as another higher level spell. And the only word is confess. So really he only has to confess to anything. I'm gonna say.
Well, I'm gonna break out the fucking thumb screws then.
Fair enough.
And drive
anything
to
else?
your house.
Bring it, bitch.
Ben thinking it's the character in game that's getting the thumb. It's actually him.
And I'm gonna coat them in gluten.
Oh, please. Let me taste it. Just
Are we
just a taste.
out of initiative?
This guy isn't dead, so technically not, though I can imagine we'll roll through the initiative pretty quickly. So, Doc, you've done your thing. Balzanor, what would you do?
I'm going to come here and cast Minor Illusion. So it looks like my eye's on fire and my horns are on fire, and I'm just going to try and basically terrorize.
Okay, he's going to try and... Nope, that's a 10. Yeah, as far as he is aware, your face is on fire. Your eyes, your horns, everything is on fire as you just slowly.
I'm going to sort of look like I'm glaring into his soul, and if he doesn't answer, it's going to be.
Roll me an intimidation check.
Yes, I can do that. With my +8. Yes.
Oh, nicely done. Yeah, 20. Yeah, as you sort of just slowly approach, like you then like cast the spell. He doesn't really know what you're doing, and it's just suddenly as they just erupt in flame, and he's just there like sort of like pulls his daggers, tries to pull them up a little bit higher to like protect himself, but Griffin, your hold is tight on his arm, so he can't pull them up into too great a guard. Galahad, you're over there.
Sorry, I moved before I go, but
no, that's fine.
I'd like to use my Harness Divine Power again, so I can use
of course.
Twice. And I'd like to regain a second level spell slot so that I can cast Zone of Truth.
Yeah, I got it. 15 foot circle.
Yes, he's in that.
Cool. He needs to make a wisdom save, not charisma saving throw. You know whether he passes or doesn't pass, so you know he passed with a 19.
Sake.
You've rolled a 19. I'm very sorry. The dice are bitches. Trust me, I know.
Charismatic.
I think my last session with JJ, I probably broke the record for the amount of time someone's cast Zone of Truth in one fucking session of D&D. Cool. Next up, Griffin. You're still grappling this guy.
It's my chance to be a better paladin. I'm also going to cast Zone of Truth.
Yeah. Go for it.
Oh, hang on. Okay, you've done your save. That's cool.
Failed.
Failed. I was just I'll know it's failed, and I'll just have a sly little grin at old Mr. McOldface. And yeah, so I've never used it before. What does it do?
Basically means that when you ask him a question for 10 minutes, he has to tell the truth.
Okay.
Or he can remain silent. He doesn't have to say anything.
All right. Can I ask? I will ask him if he actually doesn't want to be a killer. That's what I'm more interested in.
He sort of stands silently there for a minute, realizing he's very much outnumbered. He just sort of stands there and sheaths his daggers back again. Says, I would do anything for my new family, even if that means being a killer. They are my passion now.
Can I, as a man who myself has been in some shit situations and some morally questionable line of work, can I recommend that passion would not go unwasted serving the Lord of Justice tier?
Ah, yes. Lord of Justice. Well, this is not a just world, Paladin. There's no room for him in my line of work. If I could get out of this line of work. I beg to differ.
Look at your dead friends.
Is that really justice? I mean...
Yes.
Depends how you view justice. You said you did morally questionable things.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure whatever they were, maybe you actually deserve death. Maybe you don't.
That's right.
We will see. Like I said, it depends on what you mean by justice.
Well, as you said, it's not a just world, so you have to go about getting it in a different way. And I think your skills could be put to good use. Just food for thought. Just remember who's holding you here.
You did not... and he tries to sort of speak. And he realizes he can't say that. And you can almost imagine he was trying to say something intimidating like, you don't scare me.
Yeah.
But He does have to stop and sort of take stock a minute. They will come for you. They will come for you until the edge of time if they need to. Us. Once the talons have a mark, there's nothing you can do to stop it. We are like time.
How are you following?
There is no stopping us. He remains silent. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Just me making that check. What the hell?
What, persuasion? I'll give you a hand.
Perception.
Perception. There, go for
Yeah.
it.
Really not much point in me helping.
Well, could have done with some fucking help.
I just said I'd help you.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the persuasion check.
What's happening here?
Dog,
You said
roll-
persuasion,
roll-
but then
roll-
Ben
roll-
said
roll-
perception.
I'll help you
roll
out,
again with
but
the
I mean, this is going to probably be just as bad. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Ben
I've got
said
so you
a
can roll
perception
again.
check.
If we're all rolling.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Ben said make a
You
perception
don't.
check.
I did. He
Yeah,
thought
and then
I
Sam
said
a
persuasion.
persuasion check, and I was like, no, it's a perception check. And
Yeah.
I thought
oh,
you
right.
said persuasion.
You do not gleam anything as he sort of stands there still, and his eyes, he almost looks down for a minute but then looks up straight at the blank
Could one argue
walls.
that, as it's reading a person, it would be more of an insight check?
This is more for what I was entailing and for what happened. This wasn't reading a person. This was potentially picking up on some visual cues that may have come across. But sadly, you potentially missed out on them. No, he just sort of stands there, very silent, very stoic. A long breath out of his nose.
I have one more use of this spell. I can use it to try and make him talk.
We will always find you.
Have they?
You
Is
cannot
one of
run
us marked,
forever.
or is it all of us that are marked?
He stays silent again.
How will we track? I'm going to use command again, and the word I'm going to use is reveal instead of confess.
Pull that his dick. No.
This is not what I was after, then.
Reveal. I'm gonna say okay, make me an Arcana check, Doc, because I can tell what you're trying to do, and I'll be potentially quite nice.
Oh, that's good.
So you're thinking of the terms of the spell, and obviously the only thing from holding him back from thinking about the spell Zone of Truth. I believe you've cast it before. The only thing holding him back from actually saying anything is speaking. So, and he can only speak the truth. So potentially something slightly more forthcoming, if you were to expend the spell again, would maybe be something like speak, or something along those terms.
Well, I was thinking
But
about
at-
that,
but
if
at
I
that
say
time-
speak, he can just say anything that's true, not in answer to
Yeah,
the
I guess.
question.
Yeah, I guess potentially. But he does have to answer a question, I think. I don't know. Maybe reveal. I'll just make a check. Fuck. Okay. He sort of stands there, and he puts a finger to the sort of like the mask he's got, so the sort of cloth mask over his face, and he pulls down his mask and he pulls it over his head, and he is completely bald, very, very pale face. You can see scars and all sorts all over his face. He's clearly been through a lot of scraps and a lot of fights and everything, and he just stands there, a tear slowly sort of like beads in the corner of his eye, and he just says, "The invitations. Divination magic. You are being tracked. can follow you. And his hand is shaking. He does not want to do this, but he's already said what he needs to say, and he puts his hand into his pocket, and he pulls out this small piece of paper, and he just drops it to the ground. And for those of you that would pick it up, it's a small map of the capital, and there is an ink splodge right exactly where you guys are right now.
How many of these are there? Does everyone have them?
There are many.
Oh god. I was going to say we can keep this and it's useful, but
Why
have to
does
plan
it
on
tell us
something.
where we are?
No, but we could plant this something on something else.
Well, now we know we can just leave them behind. Just leave them somewhere.
Well, we'll need them at some point, so we'll have to stash them somewhere. Or we could. Can you remove magical effects? I'm sure you can.
Potentially, yes. I don't have it prepared, but I can try tomorrow.
Should we ask this guy where his base
Whoa.
is? Where their hideout is?
I was gonna say Doc knows. Doc's been there. He doesn't know where it is, does he?
I don't know. How
Yeah, you were blindfolded and taken down, and it took you about an hour of walking through the maze before you eventually made it.
I can't make him speak again.
We need to.
Unless you
We
want
need to
to
store
I'm
these
gonna say
somewhere.
the 10 minutes are coming to a very quick close very soon. You probably have a question or two more.
The zone truth. Okay. If we let you go, what will you do?
Leap off a building and not break my fall.
Why don't you leave with your family and go and start anew?
My
I'm
family
throwing
are the
you a
Talons.
fucking bone here.
My family are the Talons, and I've betrayed them. There is no running from
Your
them.
actual family. Your actual family.
I have none. Not anymore.
If we offer
They
you
are my-
redemption, could we trust you?
What form of redemption?
Then
How could you stop them? How would you ever stop them from getting to me? No.
I can contact someone to take you far away.
Oh, you cannot be sending him up there. That's not.
They would find us.
Not after we're finished with them. We're ending this group here.
You are to end the Talons.
We'll certainly give it a good go.
They threaten the city. They have to go.
Well. Dalek Sharafalor pulls out his daggers really, really quickly. Goes for a quick attack against you, Griffin. That's a unnatural
My
20
fireball.
to hit.
And my held action. Fireball.
He really should
You
take
did
3
have a
hit
held
damage.
action.
I was a round ago,
Yeah.
wasn't it? It was round before.
20 doesn't hit either.
I'll say technically like this is like out of initiative now, so you could have kept that held. So I'll say yeah, you can go with it. It's a disadvantage, but you can go with it. Disadvantage sadly misses. The fireball curtails straight across into the.
Are you right here
thing.
flinging off fireballs? What is wrong with you?
And the next attack is going to go for Doc. That is a
Really, my fault.
24
That's
to
that
hit.
action I held a while back.
It's
If he started,
5
Ben, if he started a
piercing
turn,
damage.
if he started a turn, he's got to be taking that 3d8 damage.
How long does Spirit Guardians last for? Also,
Are you stood away from him? Because otherwise he would have been taking Spirit Guardians like this entire time.
What's the spirit
Oh,
guide?
yeah,
It's only
no.
a minute, about 10 minutes are up.
Oh, come on. That's a shame. It's actually 10 minutes, but you know.
Is it?
Yes.
Damn, okay.
Shit. Like, what have you had Spirit Guardians on him this entire time?
I mean, yeah.
No, what the no?
Okay,
He'd be
I'm
so
just gonna
dead.
roll. I'm gonna roll a bunch of checks.
Luke, what's wrong with
roll the
you?
damage. Roll the damage for Spirit Guardians just once, and we'll just multiply that. We'll see how many. I'm gonna roll. So, 19. There's one pass. Pass. Fail. Pass. Fail. Wait, how many have I done? Fuck! Start over. Pass. Fail. Fail.
I mean, what's the damage? 18. Is that
18.
over
I'm gonna say
that's 18 damage around.
that's 18 damage. Yeah, that's 18
So-
damage around for 10 minutes.
So that times 10.
I'm not
pounds.
gonna sit here and do that.
I mean, unless we
Fucking-
want to retcon and you guys tell me to take it down when this whole conversation starts.
I mean, I think if it was left up as he's like being pummeled, we'd be like, Galahad, we need him alive.
Oh yes,
I would. I'll say this much. You keep it up for as long. Yeah, I'll say he takes enough damage so that he is, you keep it up long enough to where he is like very, very low, and then you almost like and then you disperse it, just to keep things easy. Because then technically we have to go. Oh well, if he was taking damage, then really he wouldn't have stayed here. He would have ran away. He was going to die. He did. He did.
If
he would
hit
have.
Doc,
Yes.
Can I use my? Actually, I don't know if I can.
But yeah, Doc, he did hit you. A
something.
con save from you, please. You have advantage on it. You take 6 piercing damage.
12. Fucking ass.
12, that's a fail. So you take half of this. You take 6 poison damage. On the enemy's guard. When you hit a creature with an opportunity attack. This isn't an opportunity attack.
No, but the bottom bit, when the creature makes an attack.
When a creature makes an attack against a target other than you, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack. Yeah, sure. Make a melee weapon attack against them.
Oh. You'd have advantage, presumably, because you're standing, I would guess, there, not trying to make a melee attack from where you are. You said hopefully.
Wait, I'm here.
He's got
No.
JJ's got cataracts. He can't see as well as he is.
If you're all the way over there, then no, you can't make a melee attack from all the way over there.
Where is he?
He's right here.
right.
He's the green one right there.
Well then why didn't you move him on my screen? He's here.
No, he's not.
Oh no, he's very much
No,
not
we're
there.
standing around him.
Well then yeah, in that case I would be
I was
standing there.
wondering why he was all the way over there.
Yeah.
That's where he was on my screen.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So
does that
yeah,
land?
That does land. Yes. 18 hits. Roll damage. I'll say because of your Spirit Guardians, he was on very, very low health anyway. So I'll say as long as the damage is somewhat decent, which that definitely is with a D8. Yeah, as you sort of pull back as he swings at both sides. One thing at Griffin, one thing at Doc, and then with him like really open now, you just sort of take your blade and just slash straight up, carve up his body.
Are you lethal?
Are you doing it lethally or non-lethally?
Oh yeah, I'm mashing him up.
Sweet. Carve up his body.
I've
Blood sort of trickles down.
got 900 years of vengeance against the Black Talons.
He was just. I assume he just falls limp in my arms, and I'll just say, he's just a
he pretty much
broken
just falls
soul. That wasn't necessary.
These Talons are not broken souls. They're rotten to the core.
We can't start judging people by the groups they have somehow ended up in.
There is an infection and it cannot be stopped. The limb must be cut off to save the rest of the body.
Whatever you say, Grandad.
Well, we might be able to cut off the head.
I'd like to do that.
Yeah. Well, with this over the body of the Talon falling limp into your arms, Griffin, what would you all like to be doing now? Would you just head off back to the thing? I'll say with your 4 passes and everything,
Yeah,
you'd make
where
it
are we
back just fine if you want to go.
Stashing these invitations, then.
Why don't we go back to the Temple of Pelor where we'll be protected
Oh, and stash them there.
and leave them there? we can try and dispel them potentially.
Yeah.
But what do we only need them to get into the venue, don't we? So,
Yeah. So we could just leave them.
yeah.
Do you think that's better to just leave them rather than?
Well, it depends if we have to go somewhere to get the magic off, or if you can do it.
I can try it, but
when you say try it, do you mean just ask Apollo?
no, I can.
You actually got
magic, but
okay,
it would probably be for like 4 spell slots to, there's no guarantee of success. Would be my guess. And then just leaving them.
Yeah,
might work.
They'd be crazy to attack the Cathedral of Pelor.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't have said they'd attack the Temple of Apollo, and they did, so... Okay, I think we leave
it. Heavily guarded.
Pelor is a larger god. So
yeah, and this place is, like, the Temple of Apollo didn't have very many guards because it trusted on the fact that people need healing. The Cathedral of Pelor is very well guarded. There are guards literally throughout the city, like specifically made, specifically trained to guard this place. It's almost like guarding Buckingham Palace,
yeah.
Like guards wear specific regal outfits and they are trained just as any other soldier would be, whereas the guards at the Temple of Apollo were generally just guards and they were told to go over there. So yeah. But yeah, with your 4 successes from earlier on, you make it the rest of the half an hour back to the temple or the Cathedral of Pelor. Your bones somewhat weary after a long day of sort of travel and moving about and things like that. And
one thing, can I just gather these guys for crossbows?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So,
and any money they had on them.
Yeah, you can. You can. 21 investigation. Nice. So
I seem to think. What's that sword you want, Luke?
Sorry.
What's that sword that you want
Avenger.
for?
The Holy Avenger.
Yeah.
It's really weirdly. This guy just had it in his back pocket.
Did he? Oh, yeah, I love that.
No, so
I don't think you're getting it, mate.
You can pick up 4 vials of poison, which you can apply to your blades at any point. Gives you a minute of poison on the end of your blades. You can pick up.
Divvy them up later.
You can pick up 36 gold pieces.
Thank you.
Oh, can I give us some of that, my G?
You're not Oramus. You don't work for money.
I do need some to get by.
Each of them had each of them had a dagger, and each of them had a short sword of the talons with this, wavy, design to it. The blades have, like this waved, curved thing. And if you want, you can pick up a chain blade. It's just a spiked chain with a blade on the end.
How much Griffin?
I'm just gonna take a dagger.
Okay, because I think we just take everything, and again, it's like kind of station ourselves at the Temple of Pelor, it seems like, and just leave all that in there as our evidence, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll keep a dagger, but I'll keep a dagger in the poison, but we'll take all of it and then do what you said.
I mean, I've got the bag of holding, so I can just stick 3 talon short swords or 4 talon short swords and 3 talon daggers in the bag of holding. If you want to keep a dagger, if anyone else wants anything, then let me know. I'll just put it in
No, let's
Take that as a
go.
yes.
Okay.
Cool. So you make it back to the Cathedral of Pelor. It is a quite somber evening as you're setting on in. It seems there is an evening, or was an evening mass. Several of the people, like midnight mass sort of thing. Several of the people are just sort of cleaning up from this event. It's about sort of 1:30 by the time you get back in, and several of the servants are walking around just collecting the final sort of prayer books and prayer sheets and things like that from around, collecting cushions from the floor for where people were kneeling to pray, things like that. Just final preparations before the night sets in. As you enter, the people seem somewhat relieved to see you. However, obviously, with some of you having cuts and bruises and things like that, there's an immediate sort of like call to arms as several of the priests begin sort of walking over to you, offering you cups of water, offering to take things like shields or help you with your armor if you wanted to doff any of your armor.
What is it? It's late.
That sort of thing. It is very, very late. It's like 1:30 in the morning.
Oh, absolutely. Beddy boys.
Who's in
Yeah,
charge?
and you guys are...
like in terms of like guards and things like that, I want to look for them, please.
Oh, yes. In charge of the guards, of course. You would have to speak to Lord Captain... Oh, fuck. I had his name written down. And it's in the wrong goddamn...
Oh, I love it.
Fucking...
Yes, you have so many documents open, you're like, where the fuck is the thing I wrote down?
Captain Zafan.
Okay.
Captain Zafan. You'll find him just outside the front door. You would have walked past him as he entered. The man with the pipe. Yes, go speak to him. And if you wanted to speak to the person who's actually in charge, that would be the Archpriest of Pelor. He is around here somewhere. I can go get him for you if you wish, but yes, that is the captain of the guard. Okay.
Stefan will be fine.
Okay. Yes, he's just outside. And they sort of go across. They offer to take your like hammer and your shield or whatever you sort of want to help out.
I will hold on to my things for now.
That's fair. Everyone else is led fairly sort of quickly over to the sort of accommodations that you've had. It's sort of like round to the side, and you go down a set of stairs, and it's a large sort of bunk room. It's nothing special, really. They try and give you some of the sort of better beds, as it were. There's some sort of secluded off in just this nook. There's like 4 or 5 beds in this section that are lesser used, so they're hoping that the beds have still got some spring to them and some cushion, and the pillows are still somewhat plump, even though it is just like thin fabric blankets, some pillows, and a very, very basic fabric, sort of like layered fabric bed, and you can get some rest. But yes, Doc, you can go over to Captain Zafan.
All I want to do is pull out an example of a dagger and sword, and show them to him, and warn him that anyone... It's unlikely, given how stealthy and discreet the talons are, but if they happen across anyone with these weapons, they are not to be trusted under any circumstance, or weapons that look like this.
Yeah. He agrees. You can tell he's really, really tired. He's clearly taken the late watch this evening. He sort of agrees, says he'll keep an eye out for it, but maybe to remind him in the morning, because you can also tell that in one hand, he's leaning up against one of the sort of like columns, and in one hand he's got a pipe in his mouth, and in the other a small hip flask. Clearly taking his job very, very seriously. But yeah, he does tell you, okay, he's got it down in his head. Anyone with a curved blade like that, does note that he's never really seen a blade like that around here. Almost scoffs at you saying the talons, but knowing who you guys are, you've walked in with a paladin of his faith. Yeah, sure, he'll take your word for now. Anyone doing anything else this eve? Galahad, you can. The previous evening you tried praying and somewhat failed. You can try again if you'd like. Potentially answer some questions or anything like that.
Did I notice this guard having a hip flask on him?
Make a perception check.
Perception.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Captain of the guards of Pelor.
Yeah.
As you sort of like walk in, yeah, you would notice the sort of like glint of a hip flask in his other hand while he's sort of having a pipe.
I think I'd let Doc speak to him, and then I'd go up once Chopper's gone, and I think I'd reprimand him for being lax in his duties.
Yeah. It's been a long day. Sorry. Sorry. You're right. I should do better. He sort of stoppers it up and puts it in his back pocket. God, at the very least, it's firebrand whiskey. It's, fire, palor, kind of works. Whatever. I'm just talking.
You most certainly doesn't, sir. You must uphold the finest standards for our god palor in your duties.
Sure. I'm sorry. You're right. There's all sorts going on right now. Yeah, sure. Whatever.
In my view, the Knights of Palor are much greater standard than this. You wouldn't have even been fit to clean the dirt off my boots.
Sort of looks at you like, look, get your paladin and get your all big and fancy in that, right? That's fine. Look, I already said I won't do it again, but I'd be careful who you're talking to like that, mate. I'd certainly be careful.
Be careful. Don't you know who I am?
Paladin of Palor, sure, but I've heard of plenty of paladins who are, well, how should I put it, not quite up to scratch.
Sir, I am Sir Galahad Sunguard, finest knight of Palor.
See,
Do not catch me slipping.
Sunguard. I don't know Galahad near. Where you from?
That's a very good question.
Or where'd you come from, rather?
Where did you go? Where did you come from? Come, my friend.
Calm
Paladin
Look, you're clearly tired, as am I. Why don't we just make this easier on both of ourselves, and you get some rest while I just keep on my watch. You do your job, I'll do mine, eh?
Well, I'll be keeping an eye on you.
Sure thing, old man. Sure thing.
I'm not that old.
Yeah, even though like you're calling him an old man, but this guy's got like salt and pepper in his hair and in his mustache. So him calling you old is definitely a little bit of a little bit of a stretch. But he's just sort of like, yeah, it's more about your attitude and things like that. So he sort of leans up, he looks away. Leans up, looks away. Many of the other guards you can see, so there's like 5 guards around the front, and then he's sort of just at the side, smoking on his pipe and taking a drink, and they're all like, they look definitely embarrassed on his behalf. Like, they are all stood very, very much to attention, very, very proper. Clearly, just sort of like, they have that look as if they're sort of thinking to themselves, "Oh, fuck's sake, Captain, not again. Stop gobbing off."
If they're,
kind of thing.
Do they look relatively respectable?
Yeah, they definitely look respectable. Like it's clear that these guys are actually, they were prepared for this shift. They've they've pressed their clothes and their armor's been shined and things like that. They are, very, very respectable and ready for this duty.
As I go back in, I'll just say to them,
It's good to see that not all of the Knights of Palor have such low standards these days.
Knights of Palor. Well, I wouldn't necessarily call us Knights of Palor, more guardians of the cathedral. Not many of them knights around these days. Plenty of triads, though. Well, wouldn't necessarily call them triads, but plenty of triers. Seems the tests are a little bit outdated for the caliber of people these days.
Yes.
Yeah.
I won't really wait for a response. I'm going to head in and try and find the head of the temple.
Yeah. He's fairly easy to see at this point after hearing the Guardians have returned. He does sort of like come out. He Doc, would you be around, like, still around at this point, or would you have just gone straight to bed? Yeah, he sort of, like, comes up to you and greets you, something like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about what happened to your temple. My name, I'm Archpriest Amon Salan. I'm terribly sorry. You and your friends are more than welcome to stay here for as long as you like." And then he sees you, Galahad, just off the, just sort of at the corner of his eyes. Paladin of Pelor, finally some, a familiar presence. Hello, of course, you and all of your friends are most welcome here in this temple. I am Archpriest Amon Salan. Is there anything I can help you with?
I'd like to discuss the fallen standards of the Pelor's warriors.
Well, yes, it does seem their paladin and their paladin ranks have fallen quite a bit in recent years. There are many gods. There are many different ways of going about being a paladin, and well, obviously, to be a paladin of the Dawnfather, the father of all the gods, it definitely takes a little bit more than most others, and the tests and requirements are a little run people to a little higher standards.
I'm feeling the... Oh... I can't say anything because I'll prove your point to a T. I'll keep quiet.
Yeah. Let me be sure, this is of the utmost importance. In these dark times, the Pelor's light will shine. There are brave men to defend it.
Yes, of course. We have had a few a few warriors come along recently in making attempts. The trials aren't generally held here, but many come for my guidance and my wisdom. It is, well, yes, it is rather unfortunate, and I will promise you that yes, I will be sure to get their ranks a little higher. Yes, we do have several paladins come by each year looking for recruits and looking for things, but sadly people just don't seem interested. The challenge that is there is rather great. It seems many people just need a little bit more tutelage than many of the other faiths and paladin ways of life.
If I can be of assistance in any way, to offer my guidance, by all means, let me know.
Oh, absolutely. It is rather late this evening, and I believe anyone who would be of any service has gone to bed. But if you speak to me in a little better time, I'm sure we can put some to work. I believe I might have such a recruit that is maybe could use a little more guidance than some of the others. I will introduce you to him when of course you have the time.
Come back maybe 8 o'clock.
I beg it's the captain. No, I'm not learning from him.
If you come back to me at maybe 8 o'clock next Monday, I'll have something for you to talk to.
No, he said he's more talking about like tomorrow or the day after. Any sort of time when you have the time. Really, he's heard about how busy you are and how you were at the sort of Temple of Apollo and things like that. And he's sure, Paladin of Pelor, probably quite a busy guy.
Someone to take under your wing, Galahad.
It seems so, yes.
And he sort of looked at
once upon a time.
I must admit, I have not heard your. Well, I've not heard of you before, or seen you in these places before. What might be your name? Sorry.
Well, my priest, my name is Galahad.
Galahad. Yes, one rather apt name for a paladin after the Galahad, of course, founder of the Sun Guard. Yes.
Yes, Galahad, Sun Guard. That is I.
He looks at you for a second. Make a persuasion check. Make a quick little persuasion check.
Oh,
Very nice. Yeah, he's sort of like looks at your armor, your shield, your sword. Looks you over. Oh, you can't be who you claim to be. That was. So you must be. I'm not saying I believe you, but I think I need a bit of, I guess, guidance from the All Father on this.
Doc, sort him out.
On this matter. This is rather strange.
It's true, Your Holiness.
I meant actually give him the cantrip or spell guidance.
Oh, okay. I was there when Lord Light shone and brought Galahad back to pervert the course of evil living.
What? Wow! Oh, my God! This is incredible. But oh my days! I have so many questions. But you look tired. May I ask why? Why are you back? Why now? What was the cause of all this?
Well, this is something I'm still trying to find out myself.
Well, should you need, obviously, aid in prayer, I'm the Archpriest, and I'm sure I can go over a few things with you. We could set something up right now, if you wish to have some aid in contacting.
Yeah, go on then.
Your father. Oh yes, of course. Right this way. He leads you into a sort of small side chapel of the building. Balzanor and Griffin, what are you guys doing at this point? After getting in, you guys just hitting the haystack straight away, or?
I'm definitely hitting the hay. I need all my spell slots back. So
yeah, Balzanor's immediately like,
I'm out.
I feel weak without my fire.
And people are like, oh, Minotaur, you came in with the just down there. Yeah, cool. You seem to know. Cool. Yep. Cool. As you just sort of like step in. Like
yes,
your hooves like just echoing throughout this massive cathedral.
Are there any temples of Tyr in Captain?
Yeah. There are temples of Tyr. The main sort of place of Tyr, though, send the message I sent to you. So it was the main sort of place of Tyr is the courthouse in Ambyr. But it's not a temple. It's just like a place where he is said to be most known. But there are definitely temples of him. One is very much near the courthouse, just on the sort of opposite side. This would be, in fact, in the Cloud District, really close to the thing. So if you guys are around over here, his temple is near the courthouse, which is near the castle, which is still in the Cloud District, but it's way over here. Sort of way over on the other side. So you guys are just about over here. His Tyr's temple is round about over here near the courthouse.
Okay. Right, I won't go to a temple, but I'll just go into a little side room, and we'll just sort of hold my axe and consult him. And the long and short of what I'm going to say is, as much as I come across as a very cocksure, confident individual, I'm actually a bit worried about what we're facing, and I would look to him for guidance and support if he has any to offer.
Yeah. Okay. Roll me a religion check.
Oh, he has nothing to offer.
Hey, you never know. Gods work in mysterious ways.
Advantage?
Sadly not. If someone was helping you with the prayer, if someone was coming over and helping you pray, then maybe, but sadly, no.
Balzanor, please rub my shoulders while
well,
I
would say any holy person can sit down with you. You know, you guys are, it's all part of the same pantheon. You can reach out to any of these gods 2 voices is better than 1, especially, as a cleric or a paladin or anything like that. You are very loud voices in the ears of the gods. So,
didn't think that was going to help.
Any one of you guys just sitting down and helping them through any rites they may have to perform, speaking with them, just giving them advice on how you pray to your gods.
And then he just says, I was like, oh, it's Tyr. And he goes, who's Tyr? Oh, I've never mind.
I'm just going to grunt and go back to sleep.
That's probably for the best.
Can you help me with this?
Yeah, Balzanor's just there, just like, puny gods. Goes back to sleep. But yeah, sadly, you are a little bit too addled in sort of feeling your dagger. You feel a warmth, you feel a presence, and there are many sort of different visions, but they're only flashes, and they're all really blurry as well. Like when you've just come out of the water, and everything's very blurry, and everything is faded with the sort of rush of water around you. You can't quite see what he's trying to tell you, what he might be indicating at. But you do feel some relief, at least, to help get a good night's sleep.
Okay. I might
Galahad.
have to go visit a temple for some more focused
Potentially. Galahad, you are led into an opposite room, into a small sort of chapel, and at the very end of the room, unlike the Temple of Apollo, which had a sort of big healing pool, you guys have a healing flame. Is a big part of Pelor's temple. So there's this large bowl with these sacred sort of incense rites and things like that. And as the archpriest steps into the room, he just clicks his fingers, and suddenly the flame roars up. In the middle of this flame is a small sort of podium with a metal ball right on the inside. As the flames arise, the metal ball obviously heats up, and you can see it's almost like red hot within seconds. You step sort of to the other side of the flame with this guy, and he sits down with you, and he just begins reciting a prayer. A prayer you've heard many times, a fairly simple one. But the thing about this prayer is it's a lot more sort of open. So there is an opening to the prayer, and then you will speak about whatever you're worried about, whatever you have questions about, whatever you would like to give thanks for, or anything like that. And then there is a closing to the prayer. And so he does the opening, and then he gestures to you to ask a question or to say anything. So what would you like to say or ask or feel or anything like that?
Why have you returned me to this mortal plane? Was my sacrifice not enough?
Yeah. With that, and then you hear him say, "Now touch the ball. Touch the orb."
Sorry?
And as you reach out your hand, you place your hand on this red-hot metal ball in the middle of the in the middle of the flame. But to you, it's only warm, barely scalding. As you hold your hand there, you feel something. You feel a warmth wash over you, but it does dissipate. You wonder why. You're holding there for a minute, maybe 2. Nothing's really happening. You're not feeling anything. So you open your eyes and realize there is no flame anymore. There is no light anymore. The whole cathedral for you has gone dark. There is no archpriest, no guardians, no temple priests and guards. There is no one. As you step out into the main chapel confused, all the lanterns and candles and everything has gone out. A place that was filled with such life only moments ago, now filled with darkness. But as you step out, suddenly there is a beaming light. In the Cathedral of Pelor, there hangs at its center a large golden sun figure. It is the symbol of Pelor. It is just like a large sun with sort of like curved, wispy sort of bits around the side indicating the flame. And in the middle is a large sort of like amber, literal like the stone amber, depiction of this sun as well. But that is not there this time. Instead is a literal burning sun that spins and twists and orbs and turns very slowly and mesmerizingly through. It casts a very intense heat on the entire cathedral, leaving all the shadows almost pitch black, leaving you bright light. You realize at this moment that you're not wearing any of your armor. You're not wielding your sword, your shield. You're but a humble man, coming to his God for answers. And you begin to hear those answers with a both booming yet soft voice. A warm voice, but one that holds power. And it says, if I can find where it says it. You just hear this voice say, a work undone, a task unfinished. As darkness falls on my creation, the sun god must rise. As you hear that word rise sort of echo and emanate and pulsate throughout every stone, every slab, every creak of wood and metal fixture, and every bone and cell in your whole body, you suddenly blink, awake. Your hand, you realize, is on a scalding metal ball, and you quickly recoil in taking it off. It has a slight burn on it, but nothing that wouldn't really... you've faced fireballs and rays of fire and everything. Nothing, not any worse than that. It'd be like 1 damage. And recoil back. And the man says, was that helpful? The archpriest, this says, was this helpful?
Most definitely. And know what I must do now, more than I ever have.
Good. In the Dawn Father's name we pray. May his mercy and light guide us. He nods, and then suggests that maybe, if you would like this moment, to take some rest, for it clearly has been a long day.
Absolutely.
Unless there is anything else anyone would like to do. You can all take a long rest.
Spell slots.
Regain spell slots, hit points, all sorts of fantastic things.
And health.
Great. And health, yes. Absolutely. And as you wake up in the morning, you can hear, even from where you guys are staying downstairs, you can hear the racking of the rain against the large stained glass window outside and the tiled rooftop of this large stone building. Seems to be a very, very rainy day. And what is the plan for this very rainy day?
How many days are we out from the ball?
2. You got today.
Yep.
You got tomorrow.
Yeah.
Day after that, ball.
Evening of the 3rd day is the ball.
Evening of the 3rd day is the ball, yes.
Okay. Well, Doc, I don't want to say you're not a man of your word, but I believe you said we were going to cause some fireworks at a certain vampirical tyrant's house. And when we're not roofing, Balzanor and I are very good at demolition. I don't know if it's... well, I'm all for just smashing the door down, but I don't know if you were thinking of a more subtle approach.
Yeah.
When thinking of the subtle approach, you obviously know that, you could just buy like leather armor or some armor that doesn't mean you have disadvantage on stealth. You got lots of money.
I feel like Ben's plugging the how can I get their AC?
Or you obviously have a couple of vials of stuff that will enable you to not have disadvantage. It's like an oil of I think I call it the oil of armor lubrication, which means that your armor doesn't make so much noise. So for 1 hour, your armor doesn't make any noise when you walk, taking away any disadvantage you might have on stealth. There are magic shops and all sorts of places that you might be able to find all around the capital. What's the plan on this fine day, folks?
Do we know he's going to
recruit a squire?
Oh yeah, you got your little meeting.
Yeah, I mean, if you would like, you can wake up in the morning and ask the archpriest to direct you towards this person.
I mean, I'm happy to do that another day.
It's entirely up to you. You can do it today. You can do it another day. They'll be here.
Maybe don't take a right, kid. First job, we're going to take on a vampire. Baptism of fire. I hope you do all right.
You got to test his metal.
Oh, there's testing metal, and then there's that.
Yeah, let's go mash a vampire.
Before we do anything, I would like to ritual cast
Commune.
Pop in the chat.
Yes. You contact your deity, divine proxy, ask up to 3 questions that can be answered with yes or no. You must ask your questions before the spell ends. You receive a correct answer for each question. Divine beings aren't necessarily omniscient, so you might receive that unclear as an answer. It lies beyond a deity's knowledge. In a case where a one-word answer could be misleading or contrary to the deity's interest, the GM might offer a short phrase as an answer instead. You can cast the spell 2 more times before finishing your next long rest. Cumulative 25% chance, blah, 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 blah. Cool. Okay. You have 3 questions. Yes or no, or whatever it says. What would you like Well, what would you like to ask?
First question. Pretty sure I know the answer, but just going to tick the box. Do the talons work for Lazarus?
My eyes have seen it so. Which is a yes.
Okay. Would killing Lazarus stop the talons and free the counselors?
It has been so in the past. And you also hear Cathania just go, "Oh yeah, sure."
That's another yes then.
Yes.
The weight of this potential slaughter weighs heavy on me. Is it right for us to be judge, jury, and executioner in this matter?
So what are you asking? Like, is it
right for us to just go around killing people like Lazarus? To solve.
If you're doing this in front of everyone else, Griffin would chime in with that. I'm actually a qualified judge.
No, this has to be a private thing.
I'm still going to tell you I'm a qualified judge.
I think the answer to that would be unclear, but with a hint of yes and a hint of no.
So unclear.
But like with a hint of yes, these are the it is an undead creature. He has done lots of terrible things in the past, but also no. There is, in all creatures, there is chance of life. All creatures can be healed.
Yeah, Galahad.
Many creatures can be redeemed. This is a matter for you to decide. This is where you must balance your scales and find where they lie. So generally unclear.
I'm all for going for Lazarus. I think he's been throwing his weight around too much and he needs to pay for it.
Yeah.
He seems to be the person that has a lot of important people in like a chokehold.
Yeah.
Would anyone else like to do anything this morning?
No.
No. Right. So with that, you can all get yourselves ready and prepared.
Are we going to Lazarus's, yeah?
Yeah? Are you going to Lazarus's?
Okay.
Investigate the house of Lazarus Barrenhill, which I've been very, very excited for, and I'm very, very glad that it coincides potentially with the Halloweenies, because that could be a lot of fun. Yes, well, I think, unless there's any, we can do some bits of really, really quick prep if you guys had any prep you wanted to do for that now. We can just skim over a lot of that stuff.
I've just thought, because I've got some in my inventory as part of my background, we could probably do with some stakes.
Yeah.
I have 3 wooden stakes.
Yes.
Which I've just had in my back pocket this whole time.
Cathaniel, a man who seems to know a lot about a lot of things, does inform you, and I'll say, because you freed Cathaniel, this will be one of the benefits of freeing him. Well, a quick thing from, yeah, that's a natural 20, okay! Cathaniel is knowledgeable, and Cathaniel can tell you that a stake is worthless unless you can get it in its coffin. He will not be like many other vampires that people would have faced.
Oh, he's a great vampire.
Unless you can get him in his coffin, get it through his heart, the stake will be like stabbing him with a wooden peg.
Well, that's silver.
And in fact, I'll say that he knows that is the only way to quote-unquote kill a greater vampire, is to stab it in the heart, within its thing, so it is within its lair, so it's paralyzed, and then tear the heart from its chest, so it cannot heal.
Oh, damn.
And then it be dead.
Well,
remove the stake, and the thing, he has a chance of healing. So long as you have the heart ripped out of his chest, and with a stake through it, Lazarus can't do shit.
Put it in a jar of dirt.
You could put it in a jar of dirt. Chuck it to the bottom of the sea.
Put it with the other egg.
Oh.
That's true.
Yeah, or you could put it in an egg.
That's true. That'd be nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have some stakes I can dish out.
What about
wanted.
holy water or holy oil? Can we get any of that?
You have a vial of that at the minute.
Can we get any more on the cheap from the temple
I've got a flask of the stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll say a flask will do. So pouring holy oil on your or holy water on your weapon will give it 1d4 radiant damage to any undead creatures for 1 minute. It takes a bonus action to do so. Yeah, and one flask will do 2 blades. Like 2 essentially like uses for 1 minute. So Doc, you have a flask. Griffin, you have a flask. You got 4 uses of this stuff. You do.
Have you still got your stake from before, Doc?
No.
What'd you do with it?
I left it behind.
Shocking behaviour. So yeah, we've got 3 then. 3 wooden stakes.
Indeed.
Also, we probably just want to manhandle him in to the coffin.
Well, it would be like in a sense, in his coffin, he has to be at 0 hit points in his coffin.
Yeah.
And then you stab him. So you could either try and get him to 0 hit points and shove him in his coffin and stab him, or there is a chance that when he dies, he'll automatically go to his coffin anyway, and so you stab him.
That was going to be my next question. Does Cathaniel know?
Cathaniel was a dick, and he rolled a natural 20. And on my notes, according to that, I literally wrote on a natural 20. It literally says, and I quote, "Just tell them fucking everything." So So, I mean, not everything about his resistances and what he might have and everything like that, but about general vampires,
So
when they die, they will return to their coffin and may reform within a certain number of days. It depends on the vampire.
Oh, so does he immediately go to his coffin, or is he in like an ether and then can go into his coffin at some point?
It depends on the vampire.
So it could be
is what Nathaniel can tell you.
Could be that
We
we
could
kill him.
murder him
and
and
wait.
Yeah,
we
so
could murder him
so
and take the coffin with us.
Oh yeah.
You could murder
down
him
the
and
street.
have someone. Yeah, you could like murder him and wait at the coffin, and so long as he doesn't reform immediately, you could just wait till he reforms and just. Actually, no, it would be before he reforms. While he's in his coffin at rest, you just through the heart, dead.
Okay. Well, lots to think about.
Lots to think about. Lots to do. Can I assume that you guys are then heading straight to Lord Barrenhill's?
Yeah, across the street, get there, start to do an investigate.
Cool. In which place? In which case, stick you over onto this fine map.
I'm very excited to go have a route around his conservatory.
Oh, wait, we don't need to we're on the bottom half of this, I can zoom in a bit.
Indeed, yes, you are only on the bottom half.
I
The
hadn't
bottom half
noticed it
is obviously
before.
the downstairs,
Well,
and the upper half is the upstairs.
It looks like I'm guessing it's supposed to be a rain effect on this map, but it kind of looks like I'm constantly falling into the map.
It does, yes. It is rain, like I said, as you you guys step outside, it is very heavy rain. You can just hear the ding, 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 as it sort of like pitter and pats off of your armor. You can take a carriage for like 1 gold, or you can like 1 gold each, or you can just walk up there.
This carriage business is a bloody rip-off.
It is a little bit. People got to make money. So yeah, or you can just walk it up there. If you walk it after your long rest, you'd be there about sort of 10ish in the morning, and you can be ready for the next session, where we take on the mansion of Lord Barrenhill.
Dun,
Bum, bum,
dun,
bum.
dun.